Compared to Lieutenant Spock's Ethan Peck prior courtship with Nurse Christine Chapel Jess Bush, the contentious romance in Star Trek Strange New Worlds makes a lot more sense. Spock finally accepted the breakup when Chapel introduced her new lover, Dr. Roger Corby Cillian O'Sullivan, during Star Trek's first musical episode. Spock became Lieutenant Lon Noonien Dancing Singh's partner during the 3-month intermission between the launch of Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 and the second episode of that season, Wedding Bell Blues, which was hosted by Christina Chong. Spock and Lon's romance began to blossom as they danced together. A Space Adventure Hour, the 4th episode of Star Trek Strange New World's 3rd season, reveals that Lon and Spock's romantic feelings for each other were returned. Contrary to what Nurse Chapel was told, Lon and Spock are simply having some fun times. When compared to the turbulent relationship between Spock and Chapel, this is a huge improvement. Although viewers may perceive Spock and Lon's romance as seemingly appearing out of thin air, a closer examination of their connection reveals that it is rational. As Starfleet officers, Spock and Lon are both straight shooters and quite effective. Similar to how Spock struggles with conflicting emotions between his Vulcan and human selves, Lon suffers from survivor's guilt stemming from his time among the Gorn. Still, Spock and Lon aren't the only ones who want to shake things up a bit. Spock relies on Nurse Chapel to help him understand his human feelings, but Lon wants more out of life than what she gets from her job. Compared to Spock and Chapel, Lon and Spock are very similar. Also, you can feel the sizzling chemistry between Christina Chong and Ethan Peck. Nurse Chapel is more compatible romantically with Dr. Roger Corby because, as she admits, she was too unpredictable and uncertain of herself in her relationship with Spock. Although it was the correct decision to explore Spock and Chapel as a pair in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, they are essentially a holdover from an unrequited love tale in Star Trek the original series, and there's a good reason why Spock and Christine's relationship doesn't last. While Spock's obsession with being definitive with Nurse Chapel hastened the demise of their romance, Lon and Spock are cautious not to define their relationship and are instead taking things as they come. No matter how far the love story between Spock and Lon goes, Star Trek fans know there's a clock ticking. Star Trek, the original series, does not feature Lon in any way. If Lon is drawn to both of the men on board the USS Enterprise, she may decide not to serve after Captain James T. Kirk Paul Wesley takes charge. The fact that neither Kirk nor Spock bring up Lon in TOS could be because of a catastrophic future that Lon faces, which would cause Spock to adopt Vulcan logic. The bond between Spock and Lon may be the catalyst that allows Leonard Nimoy's Vulcan Spock to emerge from his portrayal by Ethan Peck. It's possible that the romance between Lon and Spock will end before Star Trek the original series, but it might continue until Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 and maybe even into subsequent seasons. Audiences, like Lon and Spock, should savor the fun times as they are fleeting.